Let's fight. Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from this evening. In the diaspora, whether that's St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether that's Trinidad and Tobago, it's Suriname, it's further north, it's North America. You're in the US of A, you're in Brooklyn or Queens, or you're in South Carolina, where I should be this evening, whether you are in Alaska, or you're in Europe, or you're in Asia, wherever you're joining us from this evening, a very good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome in the ring. Whether you're in the suburbs, you're on YouTube, or whether you are in the Bel Air of social media, you're on Twitter, or you're in the ghetto, you're in Facebook, you're on Facebook. Good to see each and every one of you, wherever you guys are joining us from this evening. Great to see all of you. We are ready to go at our end. We have our hot topics set up to go. We have so much to discuss with you this evening, so much information to share with you, bring you up to speed, for instance, in what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at this hour. Guys, so glad to see so many of you. And you know the price of admissions. Don't I got to tell you, the price of admission, folks. Share the live stream. Share the live stream. Good to see you, Esther Mel and Norma Jones, Yvonne, there in the Bel Air of social media, Twitter. Good to see you, Yvonne. Good to see you, Donna David. Guys, I joined TikTok recently, so you can search for me on TikTok. Search for Sherry Duncan on TikTok, and you'll see me there. Marlon Tony, good to see you as well. Onessa Ward Dean, good to see you. Don Raymond and Audrey Thom and Marcia Griffith and Desiree Smart Felix, Raul Brando, Ramatar, good to see you as well, and Allison, Dawn and Michael Fraser, Diane Fordyce and Marcus Blue, Rochelle Spires, good to see you there. I see Dexter Al Maktoum. Some very, very influential people are with us. Al Maktoum, good to see you there, Dexter. And Pinky Alicock and Bentley A. Edwards. Oh, Rochelle DeCosta. When people use the middle initial, it's money people, you know. It's rich people. Kevin Joe and Beverly Moore King and Onika Brahma Paddy. Oh, my father. Some fancy names here, your parents. And like y'all. Deborah Sharona Lynch. Good to see you. Simple names like Deborah, Desiree. Your parents will give you some simple names like Raul. Even though Raul, Brando Ramtar, disgusting. I feel I know who this person really is, you know. I think I know. Lily Gulliver, good to see you as well. Lily and Delroy Alexander joining us there on YouTube. Good to see you, Delroy. It's Talk Back Thursday, folks, and looking forward perhaps hearing from some of you during the course of the evening. I'm trying to get our audio and so on sorted out at the back end. And looking at that still, ensuring that all is going well there. And I need to perhaps pin a post, guys. And you guys share the live share wherever you're picking us up from this evening. So good to see you, Wendell Daly and Joan Newton. I'm on my cell phone now. Winslow Padmore. Good to see all of you guys, wherever you all are joining us from. Good to see you, Selena Fraser. Good to see you, Selena, joining us from Toronto, Canada. Good to see you there, Selena. And Freddie Jackson. Good to see you, Freddie. Oren Baker. Good to see Oren as well. And all the other folks. Roxanne Estrado and Horace Thomas and Carl Miller. All the usual suspects. Is it Carl Steen, Damon, David Wood, and Cheryl Ann? Good to see all of you. Precious Mineral. Well, they're robbing people bad now. Precious Minerals on the attack, and we can talk a little bit about that tonight, folks. We are certainly going to talk a little bit more about that, right? Precious minerals and all the other things that are coming on this serious attack. The Jagabats in. The Jagabats are in. I don't know what some of you are expecting. I don't know what you're expecting. The Jagabats are in, folks. The Jagabats are in, and things are what they are. Things are what they are. We're not harboring any illusions. Things are what they are and how they are. All right? So good to see each and every one of you. As soon as I get this post pinned, I'm right with you guys. I'm going to be right with you guys. Good to see so many of you joining us. Onessa Wardeen. Is it Thomasina? Ben? Mollian, good to see you, Mollian, and June Peters, Diane Britton watching us from the mining town of Linden, and Jean Bond, good to see you there, Jean. Don Raymond again, and Colleen Isaacs, Andrew Cuthbert, not Cuthbert, Cuthbert. Naomi Drucker, good to see you, Naomi. We coming to Ralph's, and I see Naomi asking me about Ralph's. Naomi, we coming to Ralph's, hold on. We coming to Ralph's. Ralph Gonsalves, we coming to Ralph. All right, good to see Alia. How you doing, Alia? Good to see Alia in the ring. I ain't seen a couple hours, I think. Alia, you already there? Everything good? I gotta bring something by you, a little small piece. Everything all right? All right, good to see Alia. All right, I'm monitoring this now on my phone. Good to see all of you guys. Oh yeah, Samantha Morrison, Petula Boys, hair names. I've done call about 500. Samantha Morrison, Mike Peter, Olivia Belgrave. Good to see all of you guys. Yep. Miss Griffith, good to see you. Y Griffith, Quasi Hunt, some fancy names. Norma Jones, good to see you. I'm coming to Ralph. Andy Naja Cumberbatch, good to see you. I'm coming. Hold tight, hold strain, people. We got a hold strain. We got a hold strain. Good to see all of you. As you guys are saying there, Spocatory is true. You don't tell a lie, it's Spocatory. Roxanne Austin, Brenda Braffett, Siobhan Sears, good to see all of you guys. Good to see you all. Dexter Al Maktoum. Dexter, like he capitalized on the change with the birth and registration thing. He changed his last name. Al Maktoum. Good to see all of you guys. Guys, share the live stream. You know what is the cost of admissions. Don't let me get vexed. Guys, what kind of day you all had? You all put in the work. You all worked honestly for the salary. You all work honestly for the money. I'm getting a terrible sunburn right across the top here, folks. So let me stay back a little bit tonight. Yeah, it's what with Duncan, he fall into pieces. Like Duncan fall in a big hole. The Larry hole. All right. Hope you guys have had a good day at work. Hope you guys worked with integrity and did your jobs honestly so that you can collect that salary or wages at the end of the month, knowing that you put in the work and you've earned it. Guys, so good for so many of you, hundreds of you who have joined us across social media, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube. Good to see each and every one of you there with us. Angela Edwards and Ingrid Pearson. Good to see all of you guys. Alexis Bishop. Good to see you guys. Kevin Joe and Jamal Aziz and Fire Youth. Whoever you are, Fire Youth. Good to see you there. Good to see each and every one of you. Colleen, even though Fire Youth mouth dirty, from what I can see on YouTube, good to see all of you. Welcome in the ring. Fire Mouth, you might left with your mouth clean by the time the end of the program. Again, guys, you all know the price of admissions. And let's get right into the hot topics as you guys share the live stream at your end. Again, good to see each and every one of you. And we start with some international news, or I should say regional news. Region, y'all know where I'm going already. Y'all know where I am going already with this. Ralph Gonsalves, we learned just this afternoon that there was a protest, and there has been weeks of protests in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where Ralph Gonsalves hails from. Weeks upon weeks of protests there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They too got some trouble with this vaccine and mandatory vaccination, and you know there was a tremendous volcanic eruption. So they're still recovering from that. They had a flood on top of that. They have lots and lots of challenges, and you know we've had the leader of the opposition from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and some other folks walking us through the many issues that are prevalent there, that are pervasive there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so we learned this afternoon as the Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves was making his way back to Parliament, and through this huge gathering of protesters there, that he came on the personal attack. And we have learned that someone threw a stone at the Prime Minister. And he was hit in his head. And let me say right off the bat that we do not condone this kind of physical violence. Let me premise what I'm saying, because I know you got some people in a little room that barely got like making notes and recording. So when they carry it back to their superiors, they must carry it right. We do not condone personal violence at all in this manner, right? But politically, bust his ass. Politically, bust his ass. Personal violence? No, 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 no. We ain't going there. We ain't going there. But you know Ralph. I know Ralph. We all know Ralph. Right? And we get into some stuff. I want to show you some of what will have transpired in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that got Ralph in this. But I don't know what was he doing there. I don't know what the hell he was doing there in the first place. And you'll see what I'm talking about. You are going to see precisely what I'm talking about. All right? So there was this protest happening. Central, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. And Ralph thinks that he got more seats than Belanger. Well, he found out differently. He found out totally differently. Here is some of what transpired on the ground there this afternoon. Here is some of that. So the police have made a barricade here, and the opposition members are trying to break through that barricade, and appears that the police are blocking them, and there's some sort of
retaliation going on here right now. The NDP Vice President, Major Sinclair Leacock, the South Leeward MP as well, Nigel Stevenson is there, and they apparently want to make their way through here. But the police are set up a barricade, and that's the problem right now. So we'll keep on transmitting at the moment for you to see what's taking place.
Yep. So, folks, that is some of what we have. That is some of what we have, and again, my apologies there about the audio, but that is what transpired on the ground this afternoon there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And just after the Prime Minister, according to what we know, just after the Prime Minister would have made his way past all of that crowd there, just as he made his way past that sea of people there in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, this is what transpired just after he would have passed those folks there.
Oh no, oh no. They will see him. They will see him. Oh no, oh no. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh Lord.
Somebody just bust the Prime Minister head with a stone. Somebody just hit the Prime Minister in his head with a stone. I don't know if you saw it, guys.
Yep. So there you have it again. The Prime Minister there of St. Vincent and the Grenadines was making his way back to Parliament. And for some reason would have left, from what we are gathering is happening on the ground, would have left the safety of his police transport vehicle. And they are still doing their investigations as to what transpired here. And as we said, and I think a person on social media captured it so perfectly. Listen to what this person said. I'm not going to call their name, but listen to what this person said. Ralph Gonsalves said Granger must take he licks like a man, knowing full well all the wickedness that transpired. Now watch. Eat the fruits of your labor. I'm not saying it's okay, and I've said it as well. We're not condoning personal violence, but politically, beat his ass. We are not saying personal violence is okay. By no means. But one reaps what one sows. Leave people business and mind your own. People must be careful what they say and do to others. I think that captures it so perfectly. I'm going to read it for you one more time. Ralph Gonsalves said Granger must take he licks like a man. That's what Ralph said. Take your licks like a man, knowing full well all the wickedness that transpired. Now watch. Eat the fruits of your labor. I'm not saying it's okay by any means, by no means, but one reaps what one sows. Leave people business and mind your own. People must be careful what they say and do to others. And I know we're going to have the trenchies and the hypocrites, the hypocrites, the Kavakamites, the Nakavakamites, the trench crappos are going to give their comments. But when I see what happened to Ralph here, my mind went back to the insurrection at Gcom Hatfield Street location. My mind drifted back there to that insurrection. And they knew full well what they were doing. As I saw what is transpiring with Ralph, my mind took me back to Bad Settlement and the school bus, Region 5, where they pelted those school children going home after day at school. Children. But our political foes did not care that they were children. No, they didn't care. And as I see Ralph in this agony, my mind goes back to a young policewoman running for her life there in Bath Settlement, bloodied and bruised, just trying to do her job as a professional. My mind goes back to Cotton Tree and policemen who were attacked with cutlasses. My mind goes back to Quarantine and again police who were attacked. I see before me a nurse whose vehicle was assaulted, came under heavy assault during that protracted period in our elections. My mind goes back there. We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about the insurrection at GCOM. No. We don't talk about that. And it seems as though even though we are going through the throes of discontent locally, the guardians have gone to sleep. The guardians of our democracy, they have fled hither and thither. Where are they now? It is this same Ralph, this same Jagabat, this same Cross. What did he say? The person captured it well. One Rajkumar. He said Granger must take his licks like a man, knowing full well the wickedness that transpired. Now watch, eat the fruits of your labor. I'm not saying it's okay by any means, but one reaps what one sows. Leave people business alone and mind your damn own business. People must be careful what they say and do to others. And our political leaders don't understand that. What goes around comes around in this life. The good book teaches us that. The Bible teaches us that. And I'm certain the tenets are in the Quran and the other religious books. You reap what you sow, not in heaven, not in hell. You reap it in this life. So take your licks like a man. And again, I underscore because I can see the headlines tomorrow. AFC and APNU, AFC MP promoting violence. No, we say we don't tolerate physical violence in this matter, in this manner. But wasn't it Jagdeo who said the nature of the struggle has changed? And then he released and loosed his dogs of war? It's not the same Jagdeo? But when some other people say it, it takes on a different complexion. And I say tonight, Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, must take his licks like a man. Take it like a man. It's good medicine. You can straighten up and you can fly right. We remember the school bus. We haven't forgotten. Justice delayed is not justice denied. Those people haven't gotten their days in court as yet. We said inquiry open. The nurse and the immigration officer whose vehicle was attacked. The policeman who was chopped. Who was charged for that? Who was in Camp Street or at Lusignan for that? The policewoman who was running, we all saw that in Bath Settlement, running for her life. But we aren't going to talk about that. They aren't going to bring charges against their own. If they were to bring charges against their own, Carl Singh, the Region 9 REO would have been charged. Terry Chand, Balgobin, Ministry of Finance Project Manager, would have been charged. Alicia Darimple that bite the policeman, the biter, she would have been charged. But it's different strokes for different folks. When Ralph is saying Granger take your licks like a man, he didn't know what he was unleashing on himself. And now you're running, no, you should have stand up and fight. And again, I underscore all of this by saying we do not condone personal violence. We believe strongly you contend with ideas, and that is why we have a damn program called In the Ring, so that whoever will may come and let me fight. But this jagabat Ralph Gonsalves, this jagabat here, he said Granger should take his licks like a man, knowing fully well the wickedness that transpired. And you know, as we're talking about wickedness, I saw a comment by an individual saying that they watched Theft of Democracy, that mini documentary that was produced by the APNU AFC, highlighting important signposts, events that transpired in that protracted period of our elections. Oh, she didn't see anything earth-shattering to prove the PPP rigged elections. She didn't say anything earth-shattering. Fair enough. Fair enough. You didn't say anything earth-shattering. But what has the PPP produced in a year of investigations that shows us that APNU AFC was involved in rigging after a year of flipping investigations? After a year of investigations, what has the PPP produced? Charges brought against several individuals. What have you produced to suggest to this nation that there was rigging by the APNU AFC? So give us a damn break. And when your flipping licks come in, stand up and take it like a man. Because Guyanese have had enough. Let me let you know of this bullshit of forcing people to take vaccination. And the people of this region are saying, we have had enough. I told you all, I sat right here, and they tried to attack me for saying that some of these Caribbean leaders are involved in political cartels and monopolies. They are hustlers and gangsters. I came on a severe attack for that. And this gangster Ralph Gonsalves said to our duly elected president, oh, you must take your licks like a man. Well, who licks coming on now? Who licks coming on? And Guyanese are saying, we have had flipping enough. So I hope when the PPP, the jagabats, the scams, the installed set, the fraudulent set, sat in their cabinet meeting today, that you all decided what you all are going to do, because we have had flipping enough. And we are putting you all on notice. We're putting you all on notice. There was an imam, I think, a pandit or an imam called me today. Lives in the heart and the bosom of the PPP, and he can't take it. He can't take it. He said, Mr. Duncan, how come people don't have the right to choose to take a vaccine or not to take a vaccine? Their own people can't take it. I'm not saying he belongs to the PPP, but I have heard from enough PPP people to suggest that they don't like what is happening. Right? And opposing the PPP, this current cabal and regime, does not mean for you as a PPP that you're anti-PPP, but you're standing up for what is right. You're standing up for what is right. Because today, they are suspending your right to choose to take and not take a vaccine, mandating you. Tomorrow is your religious freedoms they're coming after. Tomorrow it is your religious freedoms they're coming after. So Ralph Gonsalves, the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines ain't having it. And y'all don't realize people get tired of your bullshit. That is what y'all don't realize. We get tired of it. And there is something happening in this region, not only in Guyana, in the whole, we're having our own damn Arab Spring, but your political leaders that are in power and in office, y'all aren't feeling the pulse of the people. And that is why I said just the other evening on this very program, y'all are misinterpreting the moment And the people across this region have had enough of y'all, of carrying y'all and paying for your extravagance. Damn it in hell, it's nonsense. And while I hope a speedy recovery to the Prime Minister, I hope he catch his flipping senses as well. And this present administration had better take warning. Right? Because I don't care what damn security, regional security teams and army and police you all got and forming. Nothing will hide you and shield you from the judgment of God. Nothing will hide you and shield you from the judgment of Allah. Nothing. All of your money, your wealth, your friends, and your connections. Nothing will shield you. There is a God. Whoever you perceive him to be, a force, the man with the angle, the man upstairs, whoever. And nothing will shield you from his judgment. See, all but take warning what happening elsewhere, because the people are tired of slave masters. We are tired of it. Y'all aren't hearing, y'all aren't feeling. Nobody dissents in this cabinet. Of Alibaba and the 40 thieves. We are tired of you. We're tired of Ralph. Tired of all of you. And I said it before, and I came on a severe attack for it. Some of you in there are gangsters and hustlers. You preach one thing when you were out of power. Now you're in. What happened to all of the revision and the renegotiation of oil contracts and all of that? What happened to that? And I'm not talking here. I'm talking also in the entire region. Some of you, I say it again, are wasting our time and wasting taxpayers' money. And maybe a bus head go wake some of y'all up. You're in a country you can't even buy toilet paper and wipe your ass. You can't even buy soap. Everything gone up. We are tired of you. We are tired. Your own people, 1 year, and they're tired of y'all. And I know it's only shame. It's only shame. Make some people won't even put on Facebook, oh God, we didn't know the good life is so good until we see y'all. We didn't know the good life was so good until we saw y'all. So Ralph, a speedy recovery to you. A speedy recovery to you. But you should choose your damn words more carefully. Granger must take his licks like a man. Who getting the flipping licks now? Who getting the licks now? Guys, I invite you to share the live stream. I am tired. I don't know about the other citizens in this country, but I am tired. Oh God, I'm tired. I was born in this struggle and I'm still struggling coming through. I'm tired. At 40 and 2, I'm tired. But we got to see this thing through. And some of you, you're going to come off of Facebook and boots on the ground. Let the people of St. Kitts, St. Vincent and the Grenadines be a beacon to saying enough is enough. Bullshit. Enough is enough. And I'm saying to Irfan Ali, enough is enough. I'm saying to Jack Dio, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And Mark Phillips, enough is enough. Y'all could go and talk about all the oneness and unity and corridor, happiness and ministry unity and all that bullshit. People not feeling that on the ground. People not feeling that on the ground. 2 months, 3, 4 months after the budget passed. Where is the raise for public servants that we passed in the budget? Y'all know what your flipping head get bust? Jack Dio came out and he said it was in line item 6141. So what are you going to tell me these many months after? Irfan got the nerve, the gall, the gumption, the balls to tell us we can get the raise by year end, sometime before year end. Y'all don't want your flipping head to get bust? And y'all can interpret that however you want to interpret and put your own sinister sick spin, because some of y'all sick. Some of you sick. Put your own sick spin to that. Because I have said since we started the broadcast, We're not condoning physical violence, but politically, bust their ass. We're tired of y'all, from Georgetown to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and their own Georgetown there. We are tired of you. Right across to Jamaica to Trinidad, we tired. And y'all ain't hearing, y'all ain't feeling, y'all are numb. You have gotten too comfortable in your borrowed robes. And y'all think the people owe y'all something as against y'all owing the people something. We're tired of you. We are tired of you. And I regret that blood had to be shed in this way. And of course, Rav can play victim. He never do nobody nothing. He was a church boy. He never do nobody nothing. And the political burial ground of St. Vincent and the Grenadines littered with the corpse that he buried there. The political burial ground in St. Vincent and the Grenadines littered with the corpse that he put there. And he never do nobody nothing. Oh, he was a good boy. He was always a good boy. Y'all come with your fluff and bluff and bullshit. You quote two Latin phrases and you think you're a statesman? Huh? Oh, well, you're going to be forged in the fire of struggle. Because the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are saying, flipping enough. It is something we are seeing in Trinidad. It is something we are hearing in Jamaica. It is something we are witnessing in St. Kitts and Nevis. This region is experiencing an Arab Spring. We own Arab Spring. We Caribbean Spring. The summer of our discontent. And if y'all are listening, well, cat will eat y'all dinner. Cat will eat your dinner. So speedy recovery to you, Mr. Prime Minister. Speedy recovery to you. I hope you catch your senses. Moving on to the other crosses. Damn it in hell. Moving on to the other crosses. Take your licks like a man. Interpret how you want to interpret it. The other crosses. So this joker here now. Cococo Joe. Now how some people get minister, I don't even know. I don't know. What is the prerequisite now? I don't know if Joe Hamilton got a diploma, a degree. I don't know if he got one CXC championship or half. I don't know. What I do know is that he's out of his damn mind. That is what I know. He's out of his mind. So he's throwing his political stones this morning early on social media at Member of Parliament Coretta MacDonald, who's also the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union. He's throwing his stones, his political stones. He want bushy head. He want bushy head. He said, "Good morning, Guyana." Coretta MacDonald flew over the Cococo. That's how I pronounce the word. The Cococo-ness. The actual word is cuckoo-ness. It's cuckoo. The phrase is cuckoo-ness. And the phrase, people, is taken from a movie by the legendary Jack Nicholson. One flew over the cuckoo-ness. Now, y'all see how cuckoo is spelled there? One flew over the cuckoo-nest. That is the allusion. In literature, you call it an allusion. You're hoping that the reader has a reference point to something else. I got to teach y'all every flipping thing. Because like when the teacher went in front of the class, as my aunt would say, some of y'all went to the back making airplanes. So you can open your book down and head up. An allusion. The writer is hinting at something. In comprehension, you say you must have when you're going through poetry, previous knowledge. So you come with something, but he just heard the phrase, he don't know where it's from and how to use it. And a sitting minister of government, I don't know if Priya teachy or he and Priya had the same teacher. Because Priya was saying on social media, oh, she went to the seawall. She went to the seawall. She spelled it as seawall. But I can see if you're probably speaking with a Canadian accent, could we go to the seawall? Seawall is blasé. Seawall is bacchanal people. Sea Wallace Getao. She went to the sea well. Well, he went to the Cococo. Cococo. That's where he went. One flew over the Cococo. They know nothing. They got no taste. They got no style. They got no finesse. They don't read. They don't research. They don't know nothing. So this was the illusion he was making. The allusion to this movie. An epic. A classic. Released in 1975. And among the stars in this movie, the legendary Jack Nicholson. One flew over the cuckoo nest. No, it's Cococo. According to Cococo Joe. So that's his name, Cococo Joe. He's cuckoo. Right? One flew over the cuckoo nest, but he left inside. He left inside the nest. So that is what he was referring to. So, Joe, before you throwing political stones at people, set up your arguments well. Because that one little thing distracted from the whole sense of whatever you were trying to make. And I was made to understand that Joe used to sell Polari at one of them cinemas. That's where he and the other one meet. Clement Rohi is a son. Clement Rohi used to park bicycle, and apparently he used to sell Polari. Or at least that is what our political history tells us. So much for Cococo Joe. Soon as the PPP come back. Crime. So we learned today that there was this robbery of a gold dealer. Just today. Bright daylight. People don't care. They know who they're dealing with. And I think our figures might be off because the information suggests these bandits carted it off with $38 million in cash. And not 30, $38 million in cash. And 60 ounces of raw gold. 60 ounces of raw gold. They also got away with some cell phones and so forth. But I saw another report that suggested that they carted off with $300 million Ghana dollars. I think I saw Travis Chase with that. And I saw Jamara Waves with this information here. 38 million in cash and 60 ounces of raw gold. Yep. And we're still waiting on the crime plan for the PPP. We're still waiting on the crime plan from the PPP. You see they want people bust their head? We're still waiting on the crime plan, the promised crime plan. We're still waiting. And while that was happening in the interior, 2 gold miners were killed, murdered. Right? And the folks who went after them were so serious, they killed the dog as well. They killed the dog as well. I don't know what they thought the dog could do to identify them, to smell them, to what. But these people were so brutal, they killed the gold miners. Ladies and gentlemen, and they killed the dog as well. While we sit and we wait on the crime plan from Robeson Ben and the acolytes. We sit and we wait. Things tight. You feel it every day. I feel it every day. Things tight. We're feeling it with this mandatory vaccination. Oh God, and we're coming to a head. We're coming to a head. Things tight. Things are tight. People can't afford polo. You know, polo is an expensive brand. No. People invent their own polo now. Let me bring this up closer so you can see. People inventing their own polo. Look at this polo that's on the market. You got to be careful. We're giving y'all credible and valid information. I don't know if it's Joe Hamilton print this or what. Cococo Joe. I don't know if it's Cococo Joe print this. But this could be polio. Right? So this is Polo by Ralph Lorenzo. The authentic polo has a man on a horse playing the sport polo. I think he even has a polo stick in his hand. In this case, the man on a rooster. The man on a rooster. Folks, things tight. And when things are tight, people get creative. Things tight in the country. So there is polo, and then there's Guyanese polo. The original polo, the man on a horse. In the polo, the man on a rooster. The man on a chicken. The man on an old hen. So I think this is Cococo Joe work. That is my belief. This is Cococo Joe's work. Things tight, people. Is either this is an upgrade on the brand polo to polo, or Guyanese are their best. So beware of that. And from the crosses is Pocatory. Pocatory. The own people falling out with them. And today, Yog Mahadeo, oh Lord. Yog then too interested in what they're doing. I was made to understand that Yog has resigned from the Guyana Chronicle as chairman. So let's start there. I was made to understand that Yog asked Irfan for an important document to deal with oil and gas. I was made to understand that he asked for an important document that deals with oil and gas, and the document wasn't forthcoming. And like Yog apparently was asking too many questions. I was made to understand, reliably informed, he was invited to a meeting with the fraudulent installed illegitimate Vice President Jagdeo. And he was told promptly that if you're interested in the private sector so much, then you should head back there. If you're interested in the private sector so much, you should head back there. So Yog came out today. Yog ain't having it. Yog is one of them guardians that now waking up to the reality of who he put in power. He is one of them guardians who now waking up to the reality of who he has put into power. And so Yog came out talking about this birth certificate issue and this legislation that they have recently passed. And Yog is of the opinion that even with this new law that the PPP passed, this amendment, it will not ease the woes of the ordinary people in a stretch. And I hope you guys are sharing the live stream and not just being excited with all the emojis and everything else, but actually sharing the live stream. Yog says this thing will not ease the woes of the population in a stretch. So this guardian waking up, Yog went on to say that the birth certificate and other document woes of the small man remains firmly in place. So what Yog is really saying, PPP, y'all on bullshit. That is what Yog is saying, PPP, y'all on bullshit. He said the birth certificates in a post on Facebook and other document woes of this small man remains firmly in place. Ralph taking the small man for granted in St. Kitts, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that's why he ended with the head boss. The PPP taking the small man for granted, and that is why they are pushing their vaccines down our throats. So Yog went on to say, the bill will not ease our suffering. The bill will not ease our suffering. You know, Yog did the honorable thing. Let me give him that. And he stuck by his principle and he resigned. He's in disagreement with them and their policies and their bullshit. And he has resigned. And I give him maximum respect for that. The people who I watch cross-eye, and I watch as funny, is them who sit down there knowing the wrong. And they're still carrying out the illegal, illegitimate orders. Them is the people who I frighten. You're carrying out the illegal and illegitimate orders, knowing in your conscience and your moral compass that it is wrong. Y'all is the people that I worried about, because I equate y'all to the Nazis. And I told y'all, today is your medical freedoms. Tomorrow is your religious freedoms. And the next day is perhaps your sexual freedom. They can tell you who you must sex with and who you mustn't. Yog says the bill will not ease the suffering of Guyanese. This one Guardian now waking up. It will open a small door alongside a huge risk, given the problems there that we all know of. Hear what Yog said, and this is important, people. Yog says that the bill will not ease the suffering. It will only open a small door alongside a huge risk, given the problems there that we all know of. You know what he's talking about? He's talking about rigging elections, about producing birth certificates, Wild West, that you're going to go and show as evidence of people who are alive in polling places, and rigging, and the PPP rigging elections. That is what Yog is talking about. This small door, it will open a small door alongside a huge risk, given the problems there that we know. That is what he's talking about. You think it's by chance that the PPP put Ejel's brother Raymond Cummins to head the GRO? When GCOM wanted to know if the dead people that APNU AFC pointed out on the list as being predeceased March 2nd, 2020, where did they go? They went to the General Registrar's office. Isn't that where they went? And didn't the General Registrar write back to them to say, yes, these persons are dead? That is what transpired. Why do you think they're fighting the elections petition tooth and nail? They claim that the APNU AFC rig elections, and then the courts fighting the petitions that could prove that we rigged the elections. So the lady who said that she watched through theft of democracy and she didn't see any compelling evidence to suggest that the PP rigged the elections, well, tell them let the elections petitions go forward. If we rig the elections, if APNU AFC rigged these elections, let the chips fall where they may in the court. So that is what Yog is alluding to here when Yog says that the bill will open a small door alongside a huge risk, given the problems there that we all know of. He went on to say, and the main problem remains unchecked and unfixed. The small people of this country have to continue to grovel and weep. The small people in this country have to continue to grovel and to weep. Yog Mahadeo. This is not Granger administration. This is the PPP administration that he helped to elect. And 1 year later, this is his diatribe of his administration. This is his diatribe of his administration. Now I want to turn our attentions to the REO of Region 2. Because like he and the REO of Region 9, Carl Singh, like their families. Now this gentleman here, folks, hear this. This gentleman here, oh father, this PPP guy, right? It is alleged that he has traded sex for favors, for contracts. So this is the biggest thing in Region 2 right now. And I hope you guys are sharing this live stream. I hope you guys are sharing. So REO Ramdatt is the REO of Region 2. And credible information alleges that he is being investigated internally. Right, for sexual misconduct involving his secretary. Again, these are damning allegations that we're getting out of Region 2 with REO Ramdatt. And this is their REO. Apparently, he used to be regional chairman. He's now REO. And instead of doing the work of the citizens, the small man who Yog spoke about, we were made to understand that he has been sent on administrative leave pending investigations. According to the credible information we have received, it alleges that the woman who is the secretary received sole source contracts for sexual favors. People, the PPP come back. But y'all are misreading the mood of the Guyanese people, and y'all are going to pay dearly for it. Y'all can get your head bust politically. Again, the damning allegations coming out of Region 2 is that Devon and Ramdatt has traded sexual favors for contracts. And we are made to understand credible sources allege that he has been sent on administrative leave. The PPP come back. And what all of us have been following of recent, and what we alluded to initially, what all of us have been following and we have alluded to initially, and folks, I trust that you guys are sharing the live stream. The information got to get out what is happening here. And those of you who are hardcore supporters of In the Ring, you all know we have said, I got my role to play. The team at this end, we got a role to play. Since we wake up, we curating, we organizing the information credible for you, that y'all can make sound decisions. And you have your role as well to share this live stream in all the groups that you belong to. Share it back to your pages, share it to your profiles, send it in a message on WhatsApp. Share and circulate. And so we see this administration that some of you have helped to elect. Oh, look how they've come back now to bite your hands. Look how they have come back now to bite your hands. Now people who you have helped elect telling you, some of you, not me, some of you, you must take these vaccines. I'm seeing a letter here out of the regional health officer's office mandating health center workers. Oh, y'all got to take the vaccine. I'm seeing the Transport and Harbors Department forcing people to take the vaccine. Oh my God. Oh my God. I see the Guyana Tourism Authority forcing people, bars and conference, banquet facilities, casinos, and betting shops, forcing people to take this vaccine. I see the Ministry of Finance forcing people to take these vaccines. Take the vaccines. The Chelly Jagan Airport forcing people to take the vaccines. Hard Rock Cafe forcing people to take the vaccine. All of that we're witnessing before our eyes. And we're going to sit down, y'all out of your damn mind. And I continue to say that my right to take it is equal to your right not to take the damn vaccine. Right? But what pissed me off, of all the places we have called, is that the Ministry of Labor, that's supposed to be looking after this small man that Yog Mahadeo referred to, the Ministry of Labor, I'm trying to get to the notes, issued a similar statement. Don't come by the Ministry of Labor without being vaccinated. Do I have it here? Yeah. They said no unvaccinated person will be granted entry to the Ministry of Labor, main or regional offices, except by appointment. Except by appointment. Now, this is the Ministry of Labor. Listen to the confusion powder in this administration. This is the Ministry of Labor that said to Guyanese people, this small man, it is illegal to be forced and mandated. This is Cococo Joe ministry. He said it is illegal. And now he is saying that you cannot come by my ministry. really the people's ministry without taking vaccine. But that is just the thing. The PPP think these ministries are their personal ministries. This COVID money that we approved in Parliament is their personal money. That's what they feel. They're doing you a favor. Right? So you got to make an appointment now to go and see them. You got to make an appointment, people, as year 2 begin. Y'all see this? The Ministry of Labor told this nation it is illegal. Joe said it is illegal to be forced to be vaccinated. But I want to know what y'all going to do. I want to know what the unions going to do. Especially the Public Service Union, the Guyana Public Service Union. I want to know what y'all going to do. I want to know what the people in the communities and villages going to do. Right? You know what y'all got to do when y'all see them? Chase them out. Y'all remember Jack Joe famous words? Chase them out. That is what we got to do. Chase them out. And when we are finished chasing them out of your communities and your villages, we're going to chase them out of government. And I close with how we started. We have started by saying we are not, and I underscore, we are not entertaining personal violence, but politically we're going to bust their ass. Right? Ralph Mitty Meter. And I say to this government, get in order or get the hell out. Get in order or get the hell out. That is what I'm saying to you tonight. Get in order, PPP, installed regime, or get the hell out. I have spoken my mind and I don't want to say a damn other thing tonight.